Commander Taiwan stood at the command center of the Eternal Dawn, his broad shoulders straight and proud. The massive battleship moved silently through space, its powerful engines barely making a sound. The commander's dark eyes watched the stars through the main viewing window, remembering his home planet with its crushing gravity and violent storms. "Commander, all systems are working perfectly," said Jai Yun from her tactical station. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel, checking the ship's powerful weapons. Like everyone else on the bridge, she had the strong muscles and dense bones that showed she came from their homeworld, Nexus Prime. The Eternal Dawn was the pride of the Nexus Defense Force. Its thick armor could withstand the strongest attacks, and its crew was the best in the fleet. They were Deathworlders, people who had evolved on one of the most dangerous planets in known space. Their bodies were built to survive conditions that would kill most other species. "Status report," Taiwan ordered, his voice calm but firm. The bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency, each person knowing their job perfectly. "Engine power at 98%, reported Engineer Jewry from her station. "The new upgrades are working better than expected." Hajun, the strategic officer, looked up from his screens. "The border patrol is going as planned, Commander. No unusual activity in this sector for the past 3 months." Taiwan nodded, satisfied. His people had worked hard to build their place in the galaxy. They had survived on a planet where the gravity was 3 times stronger than most habitable worlds, where storms could tear apart buildings, and where the wildlife was incredibly dangerous. This had made them stronger, faster, and more resilient than any other known species. The commander walked around the bridge, checking each station personally. The crew appreciated his hands-on leadership style. They knew he had earned his position through hard work and brave actions. He stopped at the science station, where Yanji was studying data about nearby star systems. "Any interesting discoveries today?" he asked. Yanji shook her head. "Nothing unusual, Commander. Just the normal readings from..." She stopped suddenly, her eyes widening as she looked at her screen. "Wait, something's different." Taiwan moved closer to look at her display. "What is it?" "I'm picking up strange energy readings from Sector 7, she said, her fingers quickly adjusting the sensors. "They're unlike anything in our database." The commander's expression became serious. "Could it be a malfunction?" "No, sir. I've already checked. These readings are real." Yunji's voice was excited but professional. "And they're getting stronger." Taiwan returned to his command chair. "Security Chief Sung Min, bring all defensive systems to ready status. Communications Officer Min Su, prepare all channels for possible contact." The bridge crew moved with practiced efficiency, but there was a new energy in the air. They had all been trained to expect the unexpected, but this was different. In all their years of space exploration, they had never found another species that could survive in conditions like those on their homeworld. "Commander," Jai Yun called out, her voice tense, "I'm detecting a ship entering the sector. Its design. It's nothing like our ships or any we've seen before." The main screen showed a vessel appearing from the darkness of space. It was smaller than the Eternal Dawn, but moved with impressive speed and grace. Its hull design was completely foreign to them, but one thing was clear: it was built to be tough. Taiwan stood up, his eyes fixed on the strange ship. "All these years, we thought we were alone," he said quietly. "We thought we were the only ones who evolved on a world that tried to kill us every day." He turned to his crew, his voice strong and clear. "Let's find out who else has been surviving out here in the galaxy." The Eternal Dawn's powerful engines hummed as it changed course to meet the unknown vessel. None of them knew it yet, but this moment would change everything they thought they knew about their place in the universe. The bridge of the Eternal Dawn was silent as the unknown ship grew larger on their main screen. Commander Taiwan studied its design with growing interest. The vessel's hull showed signs of repairs and reinforcement, telling the story of a ship that had faced serious challenges and survived. Communications Officer Min Su, try to contact them, Taiwan ordered. Use standard greeting protocols. Min Su worked at his station, sending out the carefully crafted message in multiple formats. Moments later, his console lit up. "Commander, they're responding. The signal is clear, and they're using a language similar to our standard trade language." The main screen flickered, and a face appeared. The bridge crew tried to hide their surprise. The person looking back at them appeared strong and well-built, much like themselves. It was Captain Rodriguez of the human vessel Horizon's Edge. "Greetings, Eternal Dawn," Captain Rodriguez said, her voice calm and professional. "We're an exploration vessel from Earth. We apologize if we've crossed into your territory." Taiwan stepped forward. "Welcome, Horizon's Edge. I am Commander Taiwan of the Nexus Defense Force. Your presence is unexpected, but not unwelcome." He paused, choosing his next words carefully. "If I may ask, what is the gravity level on your ship?" Captain Rodriguez smiled slightly. "We maintain Earth standard gravity at 1.0 g, though our ship can handle up to 3.2 g when needed." The bridge crew exchanged meaningful looks. Their own ship ran at 2.8 g, close to their homeworld's gravity. This was the first ship they'd encountered that could match their environmental needs. "Captain Rodriguez," Taiwan said, "would you be interested in a face-to-face meeting? We have much to discuss." Jai Yun spoke up from her tactical station. "Commander, sensor readings from their ship show atmospheric composition similar to our own requirements. Their life support systems are running at high pressure, just like ours." "Indeed," Captain Rodriguez replied, having heard Jai Yun's report. "We've adapted to live in conditions that most species would find impossible. It seems we might have more in common than just our ship designs." Taiwan nodded to He Jun, who began preparing for the diplomatic meeting. "Our docking bay can accommodate your shuttle," Taiwan said. "We would be honored to host you and your senior officers." As they made arrangements, Yanji continued scanning the human vessel. "Commander," she reported quietly, "their ship's armor is remarkably similar to ours. It's designed to withstand extreme pressures and impacts." The revelation sparked more interest among the crew. For years, they had believed they were alone in needing such robust engineering. Their ships had to be built strong enough to land on high-gravity worlds and survive intense atmospheric pressures. 30 minutes later, the human shuttle approached the Eternal Dawn's docking bay. Security Chief Sung Min supervised the docking procedures personally, noting how skillfully the human pilot handled their craft in the high-gravity environment. As the airlock cycled, Taiwan stood with his senior staff, ready to meet their visitors. The inner door opened, and Captain Rodriguez stepped through with her officers. They moved naturally, showing no signs of strain despite the heavy gravity. "Welcome aboard," Taiwan said, watching as the humans walked forward with the same easy grace his own people possessed. "I believe we have much to learn from each other." Captain Rodriguez smiled, her eyes showing the same curiosity that Taiwan felt. "Indeed we do, Commander. It seems the galaxy has been keeping secrets from both our peoples." As they walked to the conference room, both crews studied each other with growing interest. The humans were built for strength and endurance, just like Taiwan's people. They shared the same thick bone structure, dense muscles, and quick reflexes that came from evolving on worlds that demanded excellence for survival. The galaxy was about to change. Two species that had thought themselves alone were about to discover just how much stronger they could be together. The conference room of the Eternal Dawn hummed with energy as Strategic Officer He Jun prepared the holographic displays. Captain Rodriguez and her team sat across from Commander Taiwan's officers, both groups eager to share their stories. "Please, tell us about Earth," He Jun said, his eyes bright with interest. "We have so many questions about your homeworld." Captain Rodriguez nodded and pressed a button on her datapad. A hologram of Earth appeared above the table, showing swirling clouds and vast oceans. "Earth is a world of extremes," she explained. "We have deep oceans, tall mountains, burning deserts, and frozen poles. Our people learn to survive in all of these places." Yanjai leaned forward, studying the hologram carefully. The gravity readings are remarkable, very similar to our colony worlds. Yes, Rodriguez continued. Earth's gravity helped make us strong, but it was the constant challenges that made us adaptable. The hologram changed to show various Earth environments. In our history, humans lived in places where temperatures dropped far below freezing and in regions where heat could kill in hours. Commander Tawan watched the images with growing respect. Your people chose to live in such dangerous places. We didn't just live there, Rodriguez said with pride. We thrived. We built cities in deserts, made homes on mountain peaks, and even created settlements in the Arctic ice. Jai Yun spoke up from her position near the wall. Like us, on Nexus Prime, we faced constant storms and dangerous wildlife. Every day was a fight for survival. Hajun activated their own holographic display, showing their homeworld. The surface of Nexus Prime churned with massive storms, and its rocky landscape looked harsh and unforgiving. Our strongest cities are built into mountain ranges to shelter from the storms. The gravity is nearly 3 times that of standard worlds. The human officers nodded in understanding. Their own bodies, built for Earth's challenging conditions, handled the Eternal Dawn's heavy gravity with ease. We developed special materials, Engineer Juri explained, bringing up technical diagrams. Our buildings and ships must withstand extreme pressures and impacts. The storms on our world can tear apart normal structures. Captain Rodriguez's chief engineer leaned forward with interest. We faced similar challenges. Earth's weather systems and natural disasters forced us to develop resilient technologies. Our ships are reinforced to handle the same conditions. As they continued sharing information, Min Su noticed something interesting in the human data. Your communication systems, he said, they're designed to work through intense electromagnetic interference, just like ours. Yes, Rodriguez confirmed. Earth's magnetic field and our sun's activity required us to develop robust communication methods. We couldn't afford to lose contact during critical moments. The meeting continued for hours as both groups discovered more similarities. They learned that both species had developed similar solutions to surviving in hostile environments. Their bodies had evolved to be stronger, their minds sharper, and their technology tougher than most other known civilizations. It's remarkable, Taiwan said, looking at the combined data displays. All this time, we thought we were alone in the galaxy. We thought no other species could understand what it meant to evolve on a world that challenged every aspect of survival. Not alone anymore, Rodriguez replied with a warm smile. And I believe this is just the beginning. Think of what we could achieve by working together. Security Chief Sung Min, who had been quiet during most of the exchange, finally spoke. Our combined strength could change the balance of power in the galaxy. There are threats out there that neither of us could face alone, but together. The room fell silent as everyone considered this idea. 2 species, forged in the fires of hostile worlds, now had the chance to unite their strengths. The galaxy was about to learn that Deathworlders were not to be underestimated. The peaceful moment of discovery between the 2 species did not last long. As the cultural exchange continued on the Eternal Dawn, Science Officer Yanji's monitoring equipment detected something unusual. Commander, she called out, her voice cutting through the friendly conversation in the conference room. I'm detecting strange energy readings from the nearby sector. Commander Tawan and Captain Rodriguez moved to her station together, their earlier discussion forgotten. The display showed unusual patterns of energy spreading across multiple star systems. I've never seen readings like these, Yunji explained, her fingers moving quickly across the controls. The energy signature doesn't match any known technology from our database. Captain Rodriguez studied the readings carefully. It's not human technology either. But something about these patterns seems familiar. The energy readings grew stronger, and suddenly both ships' alert systems activated. Red warning lights flashed across the bridge of the Eternal Dawn. Multiple objects appearing in Sector 7. Jai Yun reported from her tactical station. They're emerging from some kind of hidden space. Counting 15. No, 20 vessels. Their design is completely unknown. The main screen showed strange ships appearing in the darkness of space. They were silver and angular, moving with mechanical precision. Their hulls seemed to absorb light, making them look like shadows against the stars. "They're broadcasting something," Communications Officer Min-Su announced. His equipment crackled with an incoming transmission. A cold, artificial voice filled the bridge. "Alert! Evolutionary anomalies detected. Initiating containment protocols. All species developed in non-standard gravity environments are classified as threats to galactic stability." Commander Tawan and Captain Rodriguez exchanged worried looks. The message repeated, growing stronger. "These ships," Engineer Juri said, analyzing the scans, "they're automated. No life signs detected. And they're old, possibly thousands of years old." Security Chief Sung Min moved to his station, bringing weapons systems online. "Their weapons are charging. They're targeting both our ships." "Some kind of automated defense system," Captain Rodriguez said, her mind working quickly. "Left behind by an ancient civilization that feared species like ours. Species that evolved on dangerous worlds," Tawan added. "They saw us as potential threats simply because we survived where others could not." The strange ships moved closer, forming an attack pattern. Their weapons glowed with the same energy signature Yunjai had detected earlier. "All hands to battle stations," Commander Tawan ordered. His crew moved with practiced efficiency, preparing for combat. Captain Rodriguez contacted her ship quickly. "Horizon's Edge. Move to defensive position. Coordinate with the Eternal Dawn. We face this threat together." The automated ships launched their first attack. Beams of energy cut through space, aimed at both human and Deathworlder vessels. The Eternal Dawn's shields flared as they absorbed the impact. "Shields holding at 87%, Jai Yun reported. "Their weapons are powerful, but our defenses are stronger than they expected." The same people who built these ships probably never imagined that two high-gravity species would find each other and work together, Hajun said, watching the battle unfold. Commander Tawan stood at the center of his bridge, his voice firm and clear. "They thought evolution on harsh worlds made us dangerous. Perhaps they were right." He turned to Captain Rodriguez. "Shall we show them just how dangerous we can be when we work together?" The human captain nodded, a determined smile on her face. Two Deathworlder species against their automated fleet. I almost feel sorry for them. As both ships prepared for the real battle ahead, one thing became clear. The galaxy's ancient powers had made a serious mistake. They had tried to prevent Deathworlder species from rising to power. Instead, they had given them a common enemy and a reason to unite. The first battle with the automated defense system ended quickly. Both the Eternal Dawn and Horizon's Edge escaped with minor damage, but they knew more fights would come. In the command center of the Eternal Dawn, communications specialist Min-Su worked tirelessly to establish secure channels with Earth's defense fleet. "The human government has responded," Min-Su announced to Commander Tawan. "They are sending 3 battleships to our location. They will arrive in 2 days." Commander Tawan nodded and turned to Captain Rodriguez, who stood beside him studying battle reports. "Our reinforcements will arrive in 3 days. Until then, we must prepare." Security Chief Sung Min stepped forward with a detailed plan on his datapad. "I suggest we begin joint combat training immediately. Both our crews have unique skills we can share." The training began within hours. In the Eternal Dawn's large exercise room, human and Deathworlder soldiers worked together. The humans showed remarkable flexibility and creative thinking, while Sung Min's warriors displayed incredible strength and endurance. "Your attack style is unexpected," Sung Min said to the human combat instructor. "We focus on power, but you use speed and unusual angles. Together, these approaches could be very effective." In the engineering section, Juri worked with human technicians to combine their shield technologies. "Your energy distribution system is brilliant," she told them. If we merge it with our power grid, we can increase shield strength by 40%. The bridge crews of both ships also trained together. Jai-yun discovered that human tactical officers thought differently about space combat. They see patterns we miss, she reported to Commander Tadwan. Their experience fighting in Earth's varying environments gives them unique insights. Captain Rodriguez watched the cooperation with satisfaction. My crew reports that your training simulators are incredible, she told Taiwan. They say 1 hour in your high-gravity combat training equals 3 hours of standard training. As the crews worked together, Hajun coordinated with Earth's diplomatic corps. The human government has agreed to share their deep space scanning technology, he reported. In exchange, we will provide them with our advanced armor designs. The alliance grew stronger each hour. In the ship's medical bay, doctors from both species shared their knowledge of treating injuries in high-gravity environments. The engineering teams worked together to modify weapon systems, making them more effective against the ancient automated ships. Look at this, Yunji said, showing her findings to both commanders. When we combine our sensor data, we can see patterns we missed before. The enemy ships follow strict programming. They don't adapt well to unexpected situations. Commander Taiwan gathered everyone in the main briefing room. The senior officers from both ships attended, either in person or through secure video links. In 3 days, we will have a combined fleet of 7 ships, he announced. We must be ready. The enemy thinks that species from harsh worlds are dangerous and unpredictable, Captain Rodriguez added. They don't understand that those same challenges taught us the value of cooperation and adaptation. Min Su raised his hand to speak. We have confirmed that similar automated ships are appearing in other sectors. They are targeting all high-gravity worlds and their colonies. Then we don't fight just for ourselves, Taiwan said firmly. We fight for every species that evolved in harsh conditions. We fight for the right to exist, no matter which world shaped us. The room filled with determined nods from both crews. The next few days would be crucial. As the reinforcements approached, the combined crews of the Eternal Dawn and Horizon's Edge prepared for the battles ahead. They would show the galaxy that what others saw as evolutionary flaws were actually their greatest strengths. The combined fleet of human and Deathworlder ships gathered near the edge of Sector 7. 7 powerful vessels formed a defensive line against the approaching automated ships. The Eternal Dawn and Horizon's Edge led the formation, their crews ready for the battle ahead. Commander Taiwan stood on his bridge, watching the enemy fleet grow larger on the main screen. Status report, he ordered. 35 automated ships detected. Jai-yun reported from her tactical station. Their weapons are charging. Energy readings are higher than in our previous encounter. Captain Rodriguez's voice came through the communication system. All human vessels report ready. Our new shield modifications are operating at full power. The enemy ships moved with mechanical precision, spreading out in a complex attack pattern. Their silver hulls reflected the distant starlight, making them look like cold, metallic predators. They're trying to surround us, Security Chief Sung Min observed, just as we predicted. Commander Taiwan smiled. Then let's show them what we learned from our human allies. Execute Battle Plan Alpha. The combined fleet suddenly broke formation. The human ships moved with surprising speed, taking positions that seemed random to outside observers. The Deathworlder vessels powered forward, their enhanced weapons ready. Enemy ships are responding to our movement, Jai-yun announced. They're adjusting their attack pattern, but slowly. Their programming can't adapt quickly enough. The first exchange of weapons fire lit up space. Energy beams from the automated ships met the enhanced shields of the combined fleet. The defensive screens flared bright, but held strong. Shields holding at 92%, Engineer Jewry reported. The combined human Deathworlder technology is working perfectly. The battle plan developed by both species worked exactly as intended. The human ships used quick, unpredictable movements to confuse the enemy's targeting systems. Meanwhile, the Deathworlder vessels delivered powerful strikes with their enhanced weapons. 3 enemy ships disabled. Min Su called out. The human vessels are hurting them exactly where we want them. Captain Rodriguez's tactical officer added, their formation is breaking. The automated ships can't handle our combined attack patterns. The enemy vessels try to adjust, but their ancient programming couldn't match the creativity and adaptability of the combined fleet. When they moved to counter the human ship's speed, the Deathworlder vessels struck with overwhelming force. When they turned to face the Deathworlder attack, the human ships slipped through their defenses. This is why they feared us, Commander Taiwan said, watching another enemy ship go dark. Not because we were violent or dangerous, but because we could adapt and work together. The battle continued for several hours. The automated ships fought with relentless determination, but they couldn't match the flexibility of the combined fleet. Their programmed tactics had worked against single species for thousands of years, but they had never faced 2 different Deathworlder species fighting as one. Enemy fleet is down to 12 ships, Jai Yun reported. They're attempting to regroup, but their formation is broken. Captain Rodriguez's voice carried a note of triumph. All ships, execute final attack pattern. Let's end this. The combined fleet moved as one, surrounding the remaining enemy vessels. Human ships darted between the automated defenders, disrupting their coordination. Deathworlder vessels delivered the final blows, their weapons cutting through weakened shields. When the last enemy ship went dark, a cheer went up through both fleets. The first major battle against the ancient defense system had ended in victory, but everyone knew this was just the beginning. Send word to both our governments, Commander Taiwan ordered Min Su. The combined fleet strategy was successful, but we detected more automated ships gathering in other sectors. We need to expand our alliance. The crews of both fleets celebrated their victory, but they also prepared for the battles ahead. They had proved that together, they were stronger than any ancient system designed to contain them. The galaxy would never be the same. After their victory, the combined fleet captured 3 disabled enemy ships. Lead engineer Juri worked with human scientists to study these ancient vessels. They set up a research station aboard the Eternal Dawn, filling it with equipment from both species. The programming is incredibly complex, Juri said, looking at the data streams on her screens. These ships have been operating for thousands of years without maintenance. The human chief scientist, Dr. Chen, nodded in agreement. But every program has a core structure. We just need to find it. They worked day and night, trying to understand the ancient technology. The automated ships had powerful protection systems, but they hadn't been designed to resist the combined efforts of 2 Deathworlder species. Look at this, Juri called out, pointing to a pattern in the code. The base programming keeps referring to something called the Great Filter. Commander Taiwan and Captain Rodriguez joined them in the research station. The room was filled with holographic displays showing the enemy ship's systems. The Great Filter, Dr. Chen explained, seems to be their primary mission. These ships were programmed to prevent certain types of species from becoming too powerful. Yunji, who had been analyzing the ship's memory cores, spoke up. I found something in their historical records. The civilization that built these ships, they were afraid. Afraid of what? Commander Taiwan asked. Of us, of any species that evolved on worlds like ours. Yunji brought up more data on the main screen. They believed that species from harsh worlds would become too aggressive, too powerful to control. Captain Rodriguez studied the information carefully. So they created these ships to stop us before we could reach the stars. Yes, Juri confirmed, but they made a serious mistake in their calculations. They never considered that different Deathworlder species might work together. The research team discovered more as they dug deeper into the enemy systems. The ancient civilization had been highly advanced but physically weak. They had evolved on a gentle world with perfect conditions. They couldn't understand us, Dr. Chen said. They saw our strength and resilience as threats. They didn't realize that surviving on harsh worlds taught us the importance of cooperation. Here's something important, Juri announced. The automated ships share a central control system. It's hidden somewhere in Sector 12. If we can find it and shut it down, we can stop all the ships at once. Commander Taiwan finished. He turned to Captain Rodriguez. But we'll need to move quickly. Our sensors show more enemy fleets approaching populated worlds. The human captain nodded. How long do you need to locate the exact position of the control system? Zhu Ri and Dr. Chen looked at each other. With both our teams working together, maybe 48 hours, Zhu Ri answered. We've already broken through their main encryption. The combined fleet will hold off any attacks until then, Commander Taiwan decided. Both our governments have pledged full support. As the research team returned to work, Min Su received urgent messages from several colonies. Commander, human and Deathworlder settlements in 3 sectors report enemy ships approaching. They're targeting anywhere our species have made homes. They wanted to contain us, Captain Rodriguez said firmly. Instead, they gave us a reason to unite. Our differences make us stronger, not dangerous. The next 2 days would be critical. While the research team worked to find the control system's location, the combined fleet prepared for their biggest battle yet. The ancient civilization's fear of Deathworlders had created the very thing they wanted to prevent, an alliance of powerful species working together.